This is a beginner's tutorial and I'm going to be covering the most basic techniques in watercolour painting. Let's start with wet on dry. Simple as that, wet on dry. The paper is dry and the paint is wet. Yeah, I'm just going to do a couple more of these. Again, wet on dry, and obviously with watercolour you can paint around things. A lot of people ask me about masking fluid, and if you don't have any masking fluid and you want to paint round like that, that's what I would do. If you don't have any masking fluid, just paint round like that. So you're reserving the white area there. And the other way you can do that, if you wet your background, a lot of people say to me with a large area, I'd wet a background. So it's probably best for me to draw something in there. Got a flower like that. And you wanted to do the background wet in wet, just wet it first, paint round it, like that. And then you put your washes in the background, wet in wet, and it won't bleed onto your flower because your flower is dry and the paint doesn't drift onto the flower. So I'm going to get back to this one here because that is quite warm in my studio actually. But I don't know if you can see that, but there is still a shine. That's always about the shine. So that's still wet. So I'm going to do wet into wet. This paint here is going to have to be the same consistency as that there. Oh, that's what I refer to wet into wet. So that there we are. So you've got the same consistency there. In fact, because it's quite warm in my studio, I would say the outside of this square has dried a bit. But wet into wet is the same consistency here as it is on the paper. It's drying a little bit here, so I'd call this damp. What you don't want to do in watercolour painting is to paint wet into damp. That's when the paint is drying, because that's when you have all those back runs and blooms. What you've got to do is make the paint damp. So I know that sounds really weird, how can you make paint damp? But what I do is I make it slightly thicker. For those of you that are a little bit unsure about things like that, just take the excess off on a piece of tissue. It just makes that damp rather than wet. So here, as you can see, just get that again. That, you see the marks there, that's actually almost dry. But here it is damp still, you get a fuzzy edge still. You get a nice fuzzy edge because the paint is a little bit thicker in consistency and behaves itself. But these are the sort of things, so you've got wet into wet, you've got damp into wet, you had wet on dry to begin with. So these are all these different things you can get with watercolour, but what you get with these things is that, as you can see, with wet on dry, you get a crisp, hard edge. With wet on wet, everything blends in. It all sort of fuses into one another. With damp into wet, you get a little bit more of a fuzzier edge and you can sort of see the mark, but it doesn't stand out. It's quite good for shading and things like that. The other technique you can do is damp into damp. So let's just see, that could be damp, definitely damp. So that's damp into damp. What you've got here, I've made the paint a lot thicker and the paper is damp. So you make sure that it's not too wet so it doesn't bleed. The most important rule is once the shine has gone, it's almost gone here, don't put any paint on because the paint is deceptively dry. It's not quite dry. And when it's not quite dry, no matter how damp you get your brush with paint on, it's always going to be wetter than what the paper is. So I hope that makes sense. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some paint on this one here. I'm going to really make sure it's wet. This is what you do. You don't want to put wet into a wash that is sort of drying, that is damp or drying, because it makes a mess. Now I've only just made one mark there. You can imagine going back and forth, how messy it can become. So it's really important to try to work wet in wet, damp into wet, damp into damp, and then wet on dry. When you're working like this, where it's damp or nearly dry, and then you put wet in there, you don't want to do that. Not when you're a beginner anyway. When you get sort of painting for a while, you're going to like some of these back runs that happen. At the beginning stage of painting, you want to be in control. You want to know why things are happening. Sometimes you could call something like this a happy accident. A lot of students ask me, what do you do about back runs? I leave back runs alone. I'm proud of them, I let them be, and we just see what happens, and it's part of the painting. What I do love, just a side point here, isn't it lovely, ultramarine, all the textures it makes, just here as well, it's got a little mind of its own. And as you can see now, a back run, a cauliflower, a bloom is forming here. Can you see that? It's just sort of developing, and bit by bit that line's going to get darker and darker. It's not perhaps something you might want in the middle of your sky, so when you're painting skies or anything like that, try to avoid putting wet paint into drying paint. If you can avoid those things, you will just get so much more confidence. When you've got a puddle like that, you could be doing all this correct, and then you've got a puddle at the edge of your page. Rinse your brush, take all the excess water off, and just get the brush, touch that very gently. There, just take that puddle off, because that puddle could creep back into your painting later and you'll think, I did all the things that Karen said right, and why have I got a back run? Because you had a little wet patch there and you forgot about it. So always deal with puddles at the end, and sometimes that's why we have our painting on a slight angle, so the paint runs down and you can collect it at the bottom, and it's quite an important thing. But as you can see, my back run is developing there quite nicely. So I really hope you've learned something from this video, especially if you are a beginner. These basics are so important to get you started. And as I say to my students over the years, once you learn all the rules, you can break all the rules. So have fun practicing and just use these basic techniques, and it will really help you to gain confidence and improve in your watercolor painting. If you have any questions about this tutorial, please put them in the comments section below. And if you'd like to see more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you will get updates of my latest tutorials. If you would like to see ad-free content, exclusive tutorials, and just learn more about watercolor painting, why not think about joining my Patreon membership? Details about the membership can be found in the top right hand corner of the screen or in the description below. And of course, you can watch this tutorial ad-free on the Patreon membership. Thank you again so much for watching this tutorial. I really hope you found it helpful. Happy painting. Bye for now.